Welcome to the NYC Youth Sports Podcast Show. I'm Coach Uncle Milt. What's up, Joe? We got Joe here, and this is the 70th episode. That's 70. We're gonna get right into it because we're mad late due to a little technical setting up everything, making sure the vocals, everything is good. The vocals good, Joe? It's still a little bit. All right, so we're gonna get it out. We're gonna get it out. Today, we got a basketball show on today, a basketball interview straight from Brooklyn, the BKYSC, that means Brooklyn Youth Sports Club. And we have the director, Coach Damian Lawrence, and also we have Coach Irvin on the Zoom right now. Welcome, guys.
Thanks for having me, man.
All right, man. We're going to be joined by the founder, Coach Lyles, and momentarily he's going to come in, and he has some personal things he's doing. So we want to shout him out as the founder, and we hope that he can come in a little later to give us an intake on things about his program. So this program is in Brooklyn on 100 and is Dobbin, if I'm saying it right.
100 Dobbin?
Dobbin, 100 Dobbin Street in Brooklyn, New York, 11222. Is that the gym? That's where the gym's at?
That's the post.
That's the post. Okay, so my first question is from Coach Lawrence. He's the program director. Tell us about your program.
We're a program that caters to inner city youth, underprivileged kids, and we provide them with academic enrichment, social civic engagement, intense high-end basketball training and skill development, high school placement, college placement, so on and so forth.
What's the age of the kids you service?
We have taken in the past kids as young as 7, but we're generally 10 through high school. But there has been some special cases, especially in the cases of actually one of Coach Irvin's cousins, Isaiah Ross, who started with us at 7, Devin Jones, who also started with us at 7. But for the most part, we're a 10 through high school program. And we've actually started to drop down to start kids as young as 8.
Oh, so who came up with this idea? Yes, sir.
I'm a community pillar. I'm a Bed-Stuy guy, and I come from a basketball family, just like Coach Irvin. Our families are actually intertwined historically. So I get a lot of requests for their kids to be on our program. And it's hard to tell, someone you've grown up with, whose child you're actually watching grow up, that we can't cater to your kid because your kid is too young. And so what I start doing is taking my personal time and training, working, and developing with these kids. And I recognize that some of these kids are, able to actually keep up with the kid that's maybe 1 or 2, even sometimes 3 years older. They just may not be as big and strong. And so what I actually did was start sneaking the younger kids into the programs with the older middle school and younger elementary school. And then that just became a trend that just made sense for the program. And coming from AAU roots, myself and my former partner, Kamani Young, we always had a motto that the younger you get, the younger you recruit a family, the longer you can keep them in a program, and you don't have to keep recruiting kids over and over and over again for a particular group. And so when you get a kid young, you keep them in a program for years, the kid benefits more because there's consistency, there's continuity, there's a knowledge of who they are as a person, where you can actually point, guide, and direct them and their families into the right situations for that child, as opposed to trying to fit everybody into the same situations.
And also I can, as being part of BKYSC now, before as a parent, I can attest to what Coach Lawrence is saying. My kids both came through the program.
Hey guys, and let me jump in here real quick. Sorry, I came on a little late. I'm dealing with a little health emergency with my mom, but I came outside to jump on right quick. So Damon is being super humble, as is Lester. Lester's son goes to Cornell. Dame is like a guy. If you walk through, on Fulton Street in Bedside, like literally everyone knows who he is. Like you help my son get a job interview, you help my son, my daughter get into high school to college. So these are guys with like crazy track records of as parents, as community leaders, as just like all around great men. And so Brooklyn Youth Sports Co., which was founded about 12 years ago on the premise that, basketball is this incredibly powerful tool to achieve a lot of things. We care about the game, right? We care about kids get better at ball, but the purpose of basketball really for us is this hook for other opportunities and experiences. So you had mentioned our facility in Greenpoint at 100 Dobbin Street. That's one of our spaces, but our like pride and joy is in East New York on New Lots Avenue. It's a newer space. We opened it about a year and a half ago, but it's a place where there's, East New York is referred to in a lot of ways as like an underserved community. It's also this incredibly vibrant place where we've engaged with about 10 community partners, from basketball to step cheer to football to track and field. And like, instead of reinventing the wheel, creating partnerships in the community that are really designed for creating opportunity and experience. So every kid that comes in our building participates in yoga, financial literacy. We have a garden in the back that this time of year is like really starting to come alive again. And it's a unique program in the sense that we have awesome adults around, and we have program infrastructure that allows for kids to really experience new things while also pursuing their dream of being good at ball and playing in high school, college, and beyond. We have a couple kids in the NBA. We have all kinds of kids who play Division I, Division II, III. Some take the JUCO route. We have a bunch of kids that don't make their JV team. As long as you're willing to come in the building and try to learn, which sometimes takes some persuasion. It's not always the rosiest path for everyone, but we have opportunities that we do think are very unique, and we're not for guys like Coach Dame and Lester. Just it wouldn't be as productive of a place and as safe and special a place as we see it. So again, I'm really sorry. I got to go deal with this family emergency stuff. My mom is an older lady, not doing so hot these days. But I think part of this was to sort of expose our program to your platform. We have our ongoing after school program that is every day. Our summer academy starts this summer, and we're really trying to get the word out about that and fill up registration. So I'll let these fine gentlemen continue there. I'm going to stay on, but I'm going to mute myself so that I don't, mess up the technology here. Yeah.
No, I'm sorry, sir. You get to meet you. I'm Coach Uncle Milt, the host of the podcast show NYC Youth Sport. I apologize. My internet had a little glitch. I just got off. But this is the founder, Coach Lyles, right?
Yes.
All right. This is the founder. And he's the founder of the program. I got a few questions from you, sir, but let me know. You gonna hang back and just
lay it on me? I got to run back inside for about 10 minutes. Sorry, this came out of nowhere, but
no. When you finish what you're doing, and we still talking, I just got a few questions for you. All right, so handle what you got to handle, and if you later on in the show, you want to stop back.
Go, Milton. Go for it right now. I think now would be a better time.
Okay.
Yeah, let's do it.
When you started this, what was your vision about starting this program?
So we were a travel team then. We were an AAU team called the Brooklyn Badgers. I went to Wisconsin, so it was a little homage to where I went to school. We had, I guess, aspirations of being a serious travel program for a couple of years, AAU, and we had all kinds of kids who could really play. But, I could write a book about why the AAU world is a challenging world to navigate.
It's very challenging.
And it's also like an expensive world, and a world where like a lot of money and time and resources and quality adults are spending their time like in the same gym for 12 hours playing a couple games, like full court presses at 8 a.m. I got a lot of love for it, but I also we decided like 3 or 4 years in, we did sort of like a strategic sort of reevaluation of everything, and we decided like let's sort of put more emphasis on what we can do in the community as much as possible. So basketball as a hook towards academics, towards sort of other life experiences, towards college prep. It took on a new life after we sort of changed the program model.
Yeah.
But the goal was always like using basketball towards these larger life goals, while also like really, putting a lot of stress on kids getting better at ball.
That's perfect, Coach. I realize because I deal with a lot of AAU travel teams and local teams, and is it better to take care of the local and stay local? Is that a better play?
So, I mean, my feeling in general, and I think Coach Dame could speak on this even more than I could, but there's AAU serves a purpose for a lot of great kids who need it. Mm-hmm. But like, frankly, like these college coaches show up with a list of 200 kids that they have an eye on, and there's not so many kids that just like surprise a coach and get a scholarship like that. That happens, right? But there are thousands of kids in a 3-block radius of our facility who love ball, and our feeling was like, how can we use that passion to just work with more kids who want to, get better in all parts of life. AAU is not a bad thing, but young people and sneaker companies and adults trying to like get jobs in college. It's just there's a lot of sort of conflicting things going on at once, and it takes away from, in my opinion, the youth development experience when you're looking at a kid like where you're going to be when you're 30 after ball is not really an option anymore.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it should be a cap, an age before you expose the kid to an AAU program. It seems to go lower and lower, that you got second grade teams, third grade teams, and they have a local program and they have a travel program. And I don't see any development in the middle. It's just prepared to play games. What do you think?
I think that's a very fair assessment. I think I see Coach James, nodding his head as well. Their competition has its place, obviously, like training, competition, practice, like it's important. And there's probably too much training going on these days and not enough like going to the park and playing with older dudes or like really learning how to move without the ball or, like some of the nuances of the game that get a little lost, and probably too much dribbling against the chair at practice as opposed to another human being. So there's a place for competition. I just, I think we also run the Rose Classic, which is one of the biggest girls leagues in the nation. It goes pretty young, right? The thing that I like most about that is like they're also building community. There's also a follow through outside of just like who won the game today. I do think there's a lot of groups calling themselves AAU teams when they have like a van and a couple $1,000. Like, where's the follow through? Where's the larger support system? So I don't know where I really stand on the question, right? Like, how young is too young for AAU? Like, if the kids are 5, but there's like this holistic program to support you through 18, like I love that. But I think we found that so many kids played a lot of, without using a necessarily negative word, but like meaningless games without having like a real follow through that mattered in a real sense. And, I mean, I don't really coach anymore. I used to coach a lot, and it feels like setting a back screen and opening up and then going to the basket is just not really happening so much. It's like everyone's got a ball in their hand kind of thing. And that happens at 5 years old,
Yeah, I just don't see the development. So I played ball when I was a kid, and it got serious to me in junior high school. And my late in junior, like 7th, 8th grade, that's when I was playing Forest for competition. And if it's the school or a school against another school, then you go to high school, and then it jumps off from there. But it's a long time ago. I'm up in age, so that's a long time ago. But when I was in public school, we went to a development type of thing: how to dribble, how to move our feet, how the defense got. We practice on our agility, running up and down the court, how to rebound, how to block out, how to do this, and we did that up to a point, and then we played competition. Now it's at an age, and maybe I'm wrong, but your guys are the expert.
It's all marketing. It's all about marketing now. The sneaker companies have went so young, And it's not even necessarily the sneaker companies, it's the folk who are controlling the flow of kids. They have ulterior motives, unfortunately. And so for me, coming from Bed-Stuy, and coming from a basketball-rich family, and then getting into the game as a player, and then coming back into the game as a pro coach first, coaching a bunch of, former top 50, Division I, Big 12, Big East, players on a pro circuit to coaching young kids. I saw that there was a need. And so what I mean by that is the same guys I competed against in high school and middle school who went through the college process, who are now overseas players, two were NBA players. I'm now coaching them in the summertime, and I'm watching these guys that were Division I players with these jobs at Target, still playing in these local pro-am events, like they're going to the league. And a former partner of mine, he pointed it out, like, damn, you're wasting your time with these guys, because these guys, no disrespect, basketball used them. They didn't use basketball. They went to school for 4 years, didn't get a degree. They playing overseas for $30,000, $40,000. I need you to help me with these kids so we can produce less guys like this and more cops and more lawyers and more doctors. You know what I'm saying? More educators, and more Marines and more Navy guys. And, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so, it was a beautiful thing during the pandemic to get on a Zoom with all 4 groups of our original guys that we worked with, and to hear so many other success stories besides the guys that are playing overseas after being McDonald's All-American, making $300,000. There were a lot of cops, there were teachers, there were firefighters, amongst those groups of kids. And I was thoroughly impressed, but that was actually the goal the whole time.
Yeah.
That was actually the goal the whole time. Now, they didn't know it, but when we spoke to their parents, we had those conversations with their parents, like, your kid is good. We don't know if we're going to be able to get him a Division I scholarship.
At what age?
That conversation was very early.
Okay.
That conversation was very early. So the beauty of it was, like I said, I come from a basketball enriched background, and so did my former partner. He came from a basketball enriched program where a bunch of NBA guys, a bunch of McDonald's Americans came from the tree, that bore the fruit that he became, which is now a Division I coach for the last 9-10 years.
Okay.
And so we didn't have those conversations, and I still don't have those conversations. And even working with guys of ours that are pros, a couple NBA guys, I don't talk to them about basketball too much. If we're not training and working out, we're not talking about basketball. We're talking about what are we doing as a person to get better that helps you with basketball. Because the one thing that's for sure, athletes make the most employable people. Why?
Okay.
Because they're hardworking, they're dedicated, they're team workers, they're leaders. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And those are all the things that you need in everyday life to be successful. And so those are transferable skills.
So let me break it down so our listeners can understand. At BKYSC, Brooklyn Youth Sports Club, you can bring your kid there as low as what age? 10, you said?
8.
8? Okay, 8. You're gonna get development teaching.
Well, I would say, but Dame, I would say 8. But we have a sister program.
Yeah.
Who takes girls as early as 5.
Okay, so you take boys and girls at the earliest 5.
Our dance team, the dance team that we're partnered up with.
I forgot about them.
Yeah. Take girls, little girls.
You take girls and boys, and you can put them. Some will play basketball, some will be, do the arts and the dancing and things like that. That's great. And that's why I was talking to Coach Lyles, the founder, about when you set these programs up, right? I was just getting the understanding now. Your guys is not in the AAU business in this program. Is it that? Okay. So your guys is not. Let's get that straight. You bring the kid there. He's gonna be treated. He's gonna be taken care of as far as basketball is concerned. And you do have tournaments, right?
No,
Yeah.
we
So
do not.
when a
We
kid
run tournaments.
enrolls in our program, every kid
Uh-huh.
will engage in some level of basketball,
Mhm.
training.
Mhm.
We do run some tournaments, but that's separate from our like after school and summer programming. But in a given day, like a kid definitely plays sports, does some academic work, some yoga, some gardening. Like there's a mixture of all kinds of activities. We have a girls summer program for high school girls only in Greenpoint at the Greenpoint space.
Okay.
It'll be a similar model. To your question about AAU, like we don't run AAU teams
Program.
anymore, but the Brownsville Jets
every
is one
kid
of our partners.
Uh-huh.
Will
Okay.
engage in some level of like there's the NY Grit is one of our girls AAU partners. Like so, if you're a kid that needs to be placed in AAU program, we can help out with that. If you're a kid that needs to be placed in a good high school, boarding school, like college, obviously that's like a huge part of what we do is to make sure kids are supported in that way. But our like role is to use our resources, whatever those are, to do as much work as we can in our building as opposed to on the road and whatnot.
Okay,
So
great.
we leave the AAU work to some of the other
great.
the other
So
programs.
it's like a fundle. It's like a fundle the opposite way. They come in one way and you fundle them off depending on
Yeah.
their development,
Correct.
depending on who they are as a person.
And also like in the AAU world, particularly the New York City landscape, there's a lot of competition, like your kid, my kid, right? And like there's just not a lot of partnering and collaboration going on.
Yeah.
We've got this unique sort of position where AAU teams send their kids to us because we're not trying to take them to our team. We're just trying to support and train and like help them get into college. Like we're aligned on that. And so this is a unique sort of dynamic where AAU teams like can trust that they can send kids our way and they'll just come back as better players and better kids,
Because I talked to a couple of basketball guys. I know basketball guys, and one of the biggest program like in the Bronx or like in Elmhurst, and you know what I'm talking about. Those big guys, those big guys, and I always say, when they get the younger kids, I always say, where's the development? Where's the development? Where's the getting them ready to this platform? Because now, just like you guys said earlier, the sneaker companies is putting a lot of pressure to them to go lower and lower and lower. And soon they're going to be looking at parents that's pregnant and looking at the father. Oh, this is going to be a biggie, and they're going to be recruiting from there. And I said, where is the nuts and bolts of the program getting these kids ready to play? So you won't have parents saying why we not traveling, why we local, and all this other stuff.
So what Brooklyn Youth Sports Club do is we develop the person, right? If you go in any inner city neighborhood, everybody was nice back in the days. I was nice. I played ball. I got 30. I got 40. I got 50, right? But you still live at home with your moms.
Yeah.
You got a room in your sister's house. So what did you use basketball or did basketball use you? And so our job is to create less failures and more success stories.
Okay.
Because unfortunately, those guys are failures because they only saw one thing. It was NBA or bust, right? Mm-hmm. And that's not the attitude to have. It's absolutely not the attitude to have. That's not the attitude that any human should have. Because at the end of the day, these kids, these people they're not basketball players. Basketball is something they do. It's not who they are. And so they're not defined by it. And so when I hear, Coach Irv, talking about he won't be here because he's going to his son's graduation because he's getting his master's degree.
Okay.
Like that's what it is. Like he has 2 degrees from basketball, not 1 but 2. And most of my friends, including myself, who had opportunities to play Division I or play Division I, played 4 years college ball, 2 years college ball, 3 years college ball, don't have 1 degree. The vast majority of NBA players, they don't have degrees. They do not possess degrees. And so that's troubling. To me, that is troubling.
Dan, let me jump in. Milt, I developed a lot. I don't know how from my sons going away to prep school. I made a lot of relationships in New England, and now I get people calling me, Les, I need a prep school, whatever. So a friend of mine asked me today, what you think about my son going to prep school? I said, brother, I can't answer that question for you because I don't know what's your role for your son. Like me, when I tell a kid, I want them to go to prep school because there's different type of prep schools. I want them to go to a prep school, not a basketball factory. I'm a high academic guy. Like I want all of my guys to go to, if we're gonna go to school, I want them to go to a school that where they get their degree, that they always gonna get an interview. I ain't saying they're gonna get the job, but they that degree they get from that institution from playing basketball, it's always gonna kick them in the door to get interviewed. And I don't say when I meet a kid, do you want to play Division I? The most I might say is, do you want to be a scholarship athlete? Because scholarships come on many different levels. But some of these parents, just as they could be good to the situation, some of them could be the trouble to the situation.
Yeah. I think it's created by the word I'm using, how you produce it to them. If you produce it to them like it's pie in the sky, your kid at 4 years old is great. I've never seen a 4-year-old like this. Listen, when you're saying that to the parents, they don't know what they hearing. You know, they hear it and then they act accordingly. You know, they don't understand that it's a process. And I'm not saying all of them, but some of them don't understand there's a process. So you create that type of competitiveness in the parent, and it should be instilled in the kid that's playing. Right. It'll turn around. And some of these programs, and I was just wondering, I know it's not you guys, because this is what we need. You know, this is what we need, because I see tournaments. I've been to a lot of tournaments, and I see a lot of playing basketball, but these kids is not ready to even play. They don't know any kind of fundamentals on how to play the game. And I end up coaching. I'm watching, then I end up coaching, like, no, go down there. No, you know, and I'm like, where's the development? So on my show and on my platform, I want to promote development first. You know, I know the kid get a certain age and he's good, and then he's ready to go to maybe that type of program, because now he has the competitiveness in him, and he knows that he or she can go back to fundamentals, and it will look a certain way, you know. And some then some say, okay, you're not at the level right now, you may should stay down here to get more training and more fundamental, and then that will kind of bring the parents down to earth. Like, there's only a few ball players in the city that's elite.
Everybody's kids going to the NBA, bro.
Everybody.
It's a shame. It's really a shame.
Yeah.
What's happened to the parents of athletes? It's really a shame. And not to plug myself, but I'm actually working on a manuscript to you know, for both parents, coaches, athletic directors, trainers, to, you know, go about, you know, handling their business in regards to children and athletics in a better way. It can be used for soccer, it can be used for volleyball, it can be used for basketball, and it just how to support them and how to go about doing it in a way that's productive for the kid. Because we skip development, we skip teaching kids how to compete. From a sportsmanship concept, and everything is being pressured on the kid winning and getting 20 points and standing out, and it's not healthy. It's not healthy, because these kids become, you know, hurt, fractured adults when they don't reach the heights and the levels that these false expectations have been put on them. You know, and these kids are depressed. I'm telling you, I run into these kids all the time. When I run into them, it's very sad to see these young men, 6'5", like still living in the past. Yo, Coach Dame, I wish I would have listened. I should have stayed with you when you was with this program, or I should have listened to this coach. Not like, and it's like it's very hurtful. And I'm pretty sure Les can attest to it. No, and I know Lyle can, because we have we share some of those kids in common.
No, just to piggyback on what you said, just to show how true it is. I got a call like right before the pandemic, the summer, to come watch a kid play ball. My man called me, like, come on, let's come out, watch this little guy play ball. So I go watch the little guy play ball. It's 10U. They're playing at 113. 10U. after the game, the little kid comes over. Everybody's like, yeah, little man, you had a good game. You had a yo. So Shorty the little kid looking sad. I go, little man, what's wrong, man? I said, yo, did you have fun? He said, no. Nobody asked the kid, did he have fun playing a game? That bothered me. I said, so why you ain't have fun? He said, because I didn't score. That bothered me like no other. And I'm sorry, fellas. One more thing. I was walking through Basketball City. I never forget it. It was an 8U tournament going on. And the coach was blasting this kid.
Yeah.
This coach was blasting this kid for missing a layup. And then, you know me, I'm sorry. Here I go butting in. I'm like, yo, my man. I said, LeBron still misses layups. I goes, this kid is 8 years old. He don't even know his timetables in division yet. What are you talking about?
He loses. It's a lot of pressure, man. I don't know.
You feel me, Milt? Like, this is a baby. This is a baby.
Unhealthy.
He might not even like basketball next year.
It's unhealthy, man.
But it's glad to see it's a program that's trying to get that. Let me take that try. That is getting it right. Is getting it right. Understand that you got to evaluate each kid and also give them those values and those lessons and those things, those things that those seeds that's going to grow to a later life that he has or she has a different route to go if the sports route don't go. If the sports route don't go in the college level, get the degree, go out there and get the life. You know,
man, we're a lot more interested in making sure our kids know about what redlining is than how to correctly play a 3-2. Like, come on, man.
Yeah, Milk, I gotta jump in and say, like,
go ahead.
This summer we're gonna partner up with a group called Entrepreneurs of Tomorrow.
Okay.
It's a financial literacy and wellness program. Like, our kids are gonna know what a mortgage is when they leave our program. Like, yeah, they can shoot a jump shot, and like the things that we're fighting against, like D1 or bust mentality, NBA or bust mentality, that's an issue. Instagram is really an issue for us. Like, Steph, they show Steph Curry making the three. They don't show the 30 cuts he made to get open, and the 30 minutes after the game he's practicing those cuts. And like, it's a big fight against things that are huge, and like in a kid's hand all day long is this device that's killing us.
The thing, I know, because on my platform it's the same thing, because we follow youth football a lot, and we going into basketball. Thanks you guys for allowing us to come on the platform and tell your story and get familiar with you guys. But we going into basketball, which is the biggest thing in the city. It's the biggest sport, youth sports in the city, in the state and county is basketball. So we want as a sports show, we want to drive into that. And the thing is, I see that our fight is evaluating kids and keeping it simple and allowing them to grow and these parents and get them out the way, because these parents got expectations that's crazy, and that's what's fuming it. You know, the sneaker company comes down with the money. The bigger echelon AAU programs in the city, you know their names. They got them famous names. They uptown. They're in the Bronx. They all over. And they feed them kids, do them, and it's about playing. And I see, oh, you're not ready, so go somewhere else. Oh, we got an elite AAU. If you're not, how you gonna tell a kid that when there's no training, there's no getting them ready to get there. And I believe
because that's not their job. Their job is to win games so that they can keep their sneaker contracts. Right. That's their job. Their job is not to pacify the kid. Their job is not to tell the kid the truth. They don't really care. They really truly don't care.
Yeah. And Mil, let me say the word. Sorry, Dan. The word elite is the most overused word in the basketball world that I've ever seen. It's crazy. Speaking of parents, guys, I know I mentioned before, my mom is not well. I gotta go jump and deal with her. But I gotta do a shameless plug real quick. If you're listening and you want your kid to be a part of a program that really does care and can really help, like with basketball, but all kinds of things, BKYSC, BrooklynYouthSportsClub.org/summer 2022. Our summer program is Monday to Thursday, 9 to 4, 8 weeks for $150. That's about $3 a day. If you don't have $3 a day, to support your kid, to learn about financial literacy, yoga, like then go play AAU. Cause you know what I'm saying? Like enjoy. If you really, really want to get something productive out of your time, like come find us. We're going to be in East New York for the next 30 years. 653 Skank Avenue, you know where to find us. A pleasure being on here. I do have to go. I really apologize.
I want to say thanks to you, sir. Thanks to Coach
Yo,
Lyles,
Milk,
the founder.
something that Loud didn't mention amongst all those other great things.
Yeah.
Man, we just got phenomenal people in the building, brother.
Yeah. I'm gonna get to that, Coach. Let me let Lyles go.
Thank you so much for having us.
Let me thank you. No, serious. Thank you. I'm gonna be watching your program. I'll come down to your program and check it out. I'm gonna promote your program, and I thank you for giving us this time. Hopefully, down the road we get another one-on-one interview with you, and I hope your moms get better and everything. So thank you a lot for coming on the show.
Much love, Milt. Open door policy for you anytime you want.
I appreciate it. Coach Urban, what you were saying?
No, I was just saying that, something that Loud had got, didn't get a chance to mention. I forgot, whatever. Yo, bro, if you just want your kids, man, around some phenomenal people, you know what I'm saying? Like that in our community, yo, BKYSC, that is the spot, man. It truly is. Truly is.
Yeah.
So we got guys they ain't walking around.
Another thing that we do is we empower the kids to, have a say in their future, right? And so what I mean by that is not only do we bring the kids up and through the program, but those kids come back as Sam Joseph, who's our athletic director. They come back as a Rock Irvin, who's one of our facility managers. They come back as camp counselors. And so a lot of our staff, especially our summer staff, are actually alum and or current high school participants. So we keep a lot of things in house. As a high school administrator, I hire kids from our high school to intern with us, and they earn not only credits but they actually get paid. And one of our former interns, Keith Roach, is now the director of the Hope Garden Center in Bushwick.
Okay.
And he went from being a tutor with our BAC, one of our umbrella programs, Better Athlete Coalition programs, where our high performing academic and high performing athletic kids are pulled away from everyone else, and we're concentrating on them for 16 weeks of the year. He went from being a tutor and an academic assistant to a summer camp counselor to a group leader, and now he runs his own after school program.
Yeah,
he never thought that he would do that prior to interning with us as a former student, inside of Boys and Girls High School. So that's what Brooklyn Youth Sports Club does. We have 2 board members and we have 4 junior board members that were former participants of the program.
I want to ask you this, Coach Lawrence. Can you how was the program funded, and what type of operation the program is?
Well, we do fundraisers. We write a whole lot of grants. And we
nonprofit.
We're a nonprofit. We're 501c3. Absolutely. And so the vast majority of the money we get from solicited funds via grants.
Okay.
And then we also solicit funds, through fundraising. And running events, and taking the money from the events and putting it right directly back into the program.
Can you elaborate a little bit on your summer academic program? When do it start? And I know he said something about the price and everything. Just run through it again. When do it start? And what ages and everything?
So from July 5th to August 24th. We're going to run our summer academy at 653 Skank Avenue from Monday through Thursday, 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. Programs that we're offering will be academic enrichment workshop, fruit and vegetable gardening, financial literacy, critical thinking workshops, coding and technology classes. And then obviously training and skill development. We'll have field trips this year. We have a bus. So we'll do some field trips. We'll probably do the beach, maybe Coney Island, maybe Grand Adventure. And that'll be that's the gist of our summer right there.
And what's the hours?
9 a.m. to 4 p.m. Monday through Thursday.
And the ages of the kids, boys and girls, ages?
Our girls dance program starts at 5. Our boys start at 8.
Right.
So 5-year-olds for girls that are interested in our dance program.
And up, right?
8 years old for our boys
To
that are
what?
coming for the overall program.
5 to what on the girls? How far it goes up?
5 to high school.
5, what, the 13 years old?
5 to 17.
17, and the boys 8 to
17.
17. Okay, all right. Okay, so, all right. No, that's good, man. You know, that's it. That's everything I got written down. Coach Irvin.
What's up, man?
You there? Tell us about what you do on the prep side of it. You know, because we've talked about the prep side of it, and I know your views about reclassing. And I want to get Coach Lawrence's views about it too, about reclassing. Is it good or is it bad or is it ugly?
Well, on the prep side, I don't know how. I just became this person that people come to. I get, with my sons going to prep and the relationships I've made with the prep school, some people at prep schools and up in New England, because my boys being, good guys or whatever, and being up there for so long. So I've been blessed to being able to pick up the phone and call a few preps coaches, in my phone personally. As far as the reclassing part, listen, I looked at it with my biological children. I'm not forcing a kid, and because of my line of work, my career line of work as being a correction officer with the adolescents in C-74, I'm not gonna argue with a kid who said he want to do an extra year of high school after coming out of working in C-74 for about 7 years, right? That's on one level.
But there's a key word you said, Lester. There's a key word you said that some people are gonna miss. You said after coming out of high school.
Right, after coming out, right. So when my sons, both of my sons, biological children, and a bunch of guys Dame can contest to that we helped mold along the way, they all reclassed. And guess what? They all in school for free at this very moment. And some have graduated. Like Dame said, one of the proudest moments of my life, I'm going to see my baby graduate with his master's for free. Milt, we ain't paid a dime. We ain't basketball.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful.
We use basketball. Coming from where I came from, growing up how I came from, I ain't get on a plane until my baby who getting his master's went traveling AAU.
Well, I'm going to ask you this, Coach. When the average parent hears a successful story like that, they try to say, "Oh, that might work for me," and use it as a shortcut.
Well, I don't even know if it's a shortcut, Milt, once they know the work that went into it.
Not a shortcut.
Yo, Milt,
some people think it is.
Milt, the work that went in. Listen.
No, not your story. No, I'm sorry. Not your story. Your story fit the place. It has its place. I'm talking about the next kid coming out. They're looking at their kid and say, "Oh man, that might work for me." What do you think? What do you say?
Yo, Milt, when I talk to coaches, me and Dame, my very best friend is the head coach of Binghamton University. You know what he called me? He be like, "Yo, bro, you the unicorn." He said, "Yo, you the unicorn. Your parents don't think like you, bro." Like, my son had a chance to go to Georgetown or Cornell.
Yeah.
He said, "Dad, Georgetown is good, but Cornell's I'm gonna go to Cornell," and I respect it. I grew up watching Georgetown. I would have loved to see my man with the Georgetown jersey across his chest. But
you know what I'm talking about. And the Coach Lawrence put a comment to this. When parents, the reclass situation, and as far as I'm concerned, is getting crazy. It's crazy, right? Because some people might fit the mold, and some people don't fit that mold.
So the reality is the vast majority of kids don't fit the mold. And so what Les said was vital was the high school thing. So if your kid aspires to play ball, you can't cut corners.
Yeah.
Right? You can't take your kid who's 11, 12 years old, 13, 14 years old, leave him back, let him play against 11-year-olds when he's 12 or 13, 12-year-olds when he's 13 or 14, and then think he's going to be ready to play against 17-year-olds when he gets to college as a 15-year-old. You're not used to that level of competition, that speed, that power that these upperclassmen have. And so guess what happens? You get lost in the sauce still. You're not equipped to compete at a high level with that skill set, with that speed, with that power, because you're used to playing below that level. And so you don't reclass your kid in the 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th grade. It's fruitless.
Okay.
You allow your kid to grow and develop, and you see where he's at by the time he gets to a junior in high school. If he's a junior in high school and he has no Division I scholarships and he's not making no noise, then get prepared to take a Division III, a Division II scholarship for academics. And that's just what it is. And guess what?
Yeah.
And guess what? You shot for the moon and you missed, but you're amongst the stars because you can get a free education. Now, if your kid is developing and growing by the time he gets to a junior year and he's averaging 12, 13 points on a competitive team, then clearly that kid needs another year of development at a higher level. And so a put in science, a Commonwealth, you know, a HUSAC makes sense for him because now he's playing against kids that are actually going to be playing high-level Division I, Division II basketball. And now he can go play in front of bigger coaches. And now coaches can really say, all right, this kid is ready. So by the time he come out of his 5th year of high school, boom, I'm getting a Division I scholarship. I'm getting a high-level Division II scholarship because I was ready for it. I earned it, and I took all the necessary steps. You can't cheat. And this is why so many kids, when they get to high school, after middle school, they disappear. Oh, he the top 8th grade in the country. He the top 7th grade in New York. By the time they get to high school, their sophomore year, they done. You don't even hear from these kids no more.
So
and it's because they putting the cart before the horse.
So you suggesting, Coach, it's a time and a place.
It's a time and a place. So Les was perfect in how he handled his business in regards to the prep school situation and how every kid should handle a reclass situation. It should be through high school, not through middle school.
Okay, I agree.
And but see the thing about that, Milt and D, I know you could contest to this. Reclassing been going on for a very long
forever. It's not new.
It got out of hand.
It only got out of hand because we're doing it now. Because we're doing it for basketball, right? Prep school's been around for a very long time, Milt.
Ever.
But guess what, Milt? They was doing it for baseball. They was doing it for crew. Most people don't even know what crew is.
Nope.
They been doing it for soccer. They've been doing
lacrosse.
They've been doing it for years. Lacrosse. But now that we doing it, and we doing it for the mass majority of basketball,
and we're not doing it right.
Now it seems like, oh, what's going on? But this been going on.
We're just not doing it. We're not doing it the right way.
Yeah, but
right.
Isn't it safe to say that they doing it? They did it. Isn't it safe to say they did it for education?
To put their kids in a better situation academically.
Education.
They use the sport. Yes.
These parents are doing it. They're going to get a free ride into college.
Yes.
Go to the NBA. It's different. See, when we get it, we misuse it.
Yes.
And we misuse it, and then
because we don't have so a lot of the big issue is what we're tackling with Brooklyn Youth Sports Club. Just think about it. How old were you when you first learned about a mortgage? How old were you when you first learned about balancing a checkbook? How old were you when you learned about how taxes really work? Yeah. How old were you when you found out, stocks and bonds? You understand? Yeah. These are conversations in those white communities that are happening very young. And so for me, because I understood it, and my son went to school around a bunch of white folk like Les kids did. I immediately, at 13 years old, started sending my son to the bank. Start giving him the checkbook. This is what I make every month. This is what I make annually. And these are my bills.
Coach,
these are my bills from laundry to rent, mortgage, whatever it is. How are you going to make this money work?
Yeah, Coach, that's good. That's good that it's a program out there. Guys got to understand. There, people out there, you got kids. there's a program in Brooklyn, BKYSC, Brooklyn Youth Sports Club, and they getting your kid ready from top to bottom about how life is, and then it's sports and what you do with the opportunity. It's an opportunity when you get to places that's going to enhance you in life, and that's it. And I just wanted to touch on that, and I'm glad that you guys came and to give us time on the show. I gotta get off the air about 9:30, so I got some other things I gotta do. But you listen, our show, our phone lines, everything is open for you anytime. Coach Irvin, Coach Lawrence, and also Coach Fry. I appreciate you guys coming, and I hope your program gets really, really, really big, so you can get some of these other kids straight before they get to a platform that it's gonna help them later on in life. And I'm glad at that. Anybody got any last words?
Yo, one thing I tell all parents to do, it's a documentary that I saw on HBO. Sorry, it was called Trophy Kids. Mm-hmm. I think all parents who have a kid playing competitive sports, Milk, even AAU, should watch this documentary. It's called Trophy Kids.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I heard. You know what's blessed? I seen it and I never clicked on it.
Yeah.
Bro, watch that.
I'm gonna click on it now. I'm gonna watch it.
It's on HBO.
Yeah, I'm gonna watch it.
Yeah, I'm gonna watch it tonight.
I'm gonna watch it. I'm gonna take note of that. I would like to just thank you for inviting us, on your platform so we can get the word out, and just have a different opinion than the popular opinion. And I know some folks see it that are in that world. I was in that world heavy, man. Heavy. I was a part of the founding of 2 major programs in New York City, man. Mm-hmm. The very first one is near and dear to my heart. And so I know what it is. I coached the major team on the national circuit and dealt with the recruiting process and the college opportunities and the prep schools coming after families. And so I learned early that at Brooklyn Youth Sports Club, just like at those other stops, you don't recruit kids, you recruit families. And when you recruit families, you get a full buy-in. The families, that you sit down and you exchange information and you make the decision that's best for the kid, not what the parent want, not what the AAU coach want, not what the AAU director want. You make the decision that's best for the kid. Everybody can't go to Christ the King. Everybody can't go to Northfield Mount Hermon. Everybody can't go to Blair Academy. Everybody can't go to St. Anthony's, St. Benedict's. Everybody can't go to those schools. You might have to go to, a Hoosac. You might have to go to a Dalton. Where you can, where the kid can develop and have, time to make mistakes as a player and a smaller setting to learn more intense as a student. Because at the end of the day, we can say, the reality is students have never been really student athletes because money has been made off of their name, image, and likeness. But at the end of the day, the student is before the athlete because the person is before the athlete.
Thank you guys. Thank you guys, man. You're great. Do you remember BKYSC, Brooklyn Youth Sports Club? They on 100 Dobby, DOBBIN Street in Brooklyn, New York, 11222.
And also at 265 Skank Avenue.
Yeah, and say it again, Coach.
653 Skank Avenue. East New York, Brooklyn.
Yeah, send me a flyer and I'll put it up on our New York for New York. That's a Facebook group that we only take anything that's going on in New York City, County New York, State of New York that's dealing with sports. Put your advertising.
Lester, you can send that to him, right?
Huh?
Yeah, I got him.
That's NY for NY. Facebook group. Put it up there. Let me know. I'll put it up there. I usually catch the ads that comes on my Facebook page, the NYC Youth Sports Podcast show page, and I put it up there. That's because, Facebook, everybody in the country, I don't want to advertise something somebody is doing in Tennessee. I want to advertise somebody's doing something in Brooklyn, Bronx, Queens, Manhattan. Someone's doing upstate. I want to advertise in New York, so people will know where to go and where to and know what's going on and what to do. That's NY #4 NY Facebook group. All right, thanks, God, man. I appreciate it. I appreciate Joe. Let's go to the break. We're gonna come back with the closing remarks, And remember, BKYSC, Brooklyn Youth Sports Club. All right, thank you guys.
Thanks, Dave. Thanks,
Thank
Mel.
you.
To create a perfect student athlete, you must enhance these attributes: mind, body, and soul. In other words, education, fitness, and nutrition must be a part of your life. And it starts right here at the New York City Youth Sports Initiative.
Here's 5 ways to support NYC Youth Sports Podcast Show. 1. Push the subscribe button, like it, and leave a comment. 2. Donation. What you can. It will be appreciated. 3. Promote what you're doing or your kid's achievement in youth sports with our $10 on-the-screen ad spot. $10 per show or $30 a month. 4. Share this podcast show with others on social media. 5. Buy our show's apparel on Amazon.com. Thank you for your participation.
What's going on in sports in New York State, cities, and counties? Place your sports events and games on NY4NY Facebook group page. Advertise what's going on, what you're doing, and tell us where to go. That's NY4NY Facebook group. And remember to only post New York State events. This message is brought to you by New York for New York Youth Sports Organization.
We're back. NYC Youth Sports Podcast Show, man. We want to shout out. Thank you for the Brooklyn Youth Sports Club, man, for coming on the show. And we're expecting to get more basketball programs and talk about more on the other side, because we are a little youth football heavy, and the season gonna be coming up with youth football. So we're gonna be taking on a bunch of basketball programs and talk about a bunch, what's going on in basketball, because that's probably one of the biggest sports in New York City, in the Long Island, the counties and upstate. I'm gonna take the time out to explain to you. We are branching out into the live stream service. Live stream services. Let me explain what that is. It's called Youth Sports Desk, and we'll be going out with the live stream service that we're gonna to live stream your youth sports games and events. You'll call us up, and we come out with our sports desk. We film it. We put it on our Watch the Youth channel. We have our color commentaries. We have our play-by-play announcers. We have 1 or 2 camera angles, interviews, the whole ball of wax. We're gonna come out and make it look like it's ESPN, TNT Sports, Fox Sports, and with our commercials and everything. Now, let me explain something about this service, and to those who have tournaments and do sports events, and also leagues and things that have games. We have a program that we designed that can help you guys financially pay for this service, because with anything, it's a cost to it. We try to make the cost as less as possible, but we also have a way that you can, if you have a fundraiser or you have a sports event and you're trying to do some sports games, that we designed to help you guys finance it, do commercials. We all gotta understand that has nonprofits, 501(c)s, and who have these community-based programs, that you're gonna have to get into the community, to the businesses in the community to help you out. And we got a product that can design, that can make what you're doing desirable to the business community, because it's only but so far that you could get parents funding your program. Parents can't fund your program 90%. You still got to fundraise. You still got to figure out ways to get donations. You figure out a way how to bring the business community in it, and trying to get less from parents, and more from what's around, because businesses are interested in youth programs, because you got the people, you got the kids, you got the parents, you got the fans, and they want to invest in something where they can put their products and services to get more customers, and that's the greatness of it, of what you guys do. So if people don't know how, call me up. I can explain to you how to do it, so you can afford the service. So that's one thing. Our live stream services is on. We taking bookings. We have a 2-hour, a 1 game 2-hour special, and we got a 2 game 4-hour special. And then from more games or 6 to 8 hours, that's an all-day booking. We offer PA system. We also music. We offer just I said play-by-play guy, announcing guy. We can we come as soon as our video, or what you call jumbotron, so we can bring our video commercials out there to the field, and you don't have to worry about when you're doing a game and you're doing a fundraiser or you're doing an event. That part of it is taken care of. Is that when you come and listen to the price or whatever the situation is, we have ways that you can afford it, and it won't come out the budget of what you set to do the event. Now you got to do some work too. I'm going to let you know, and you got to understand you got to do some work too. So, call me up. We got the flyer coming out on Facebook. Anybody got any questions on future events that they want to do? The best thing is to get at me early, and I'm going to give you the blueprint so you can put it together right and get the right funding so you can pay for the service. So that's one thing that we're doing. We got to get back into our flow of our sports show and have a couple of things that we're working on with other promoters and other people in the as far as preseason football, certain things that we like to do and get involved with that. We're doing AAU tournaments coming up. We have one coming up this month on the 23rd and 24th. We're going to tell you more about it. We have tournaments coming up. The street tournaments is coming up when it gets a little warmer. We want to bring that to you. Certain things with track meets and things. So we are open for anything that's on the youth sports side of the coin for the kids. So call us up, but remember, everything costs, and we got a price for the live stream. We're not here to hurt or discourage, but we have a way that it won't cost you, but you just got to be ready to work. We got to be ready to work. With that said, we had a great night. Thank you for the guys from the Brooklyn Youth Sports Club out of Brooklyn. Remember, they got a program in Brooklyn. Look them up on Facebook, Instagram, and there's a good program to bring your kids to get the full experience of getting the kid ready for life with sports. And I'm glad, these guys came on tonight to express to us about this their program. Another thing I want to discuss, I want to start a Sunday discussion on Facebook. This Sunday discussion is for parents only, because it seems like parents is not getting the whole information on how this youth sports stuff works. Maybe they got expectations about where their kid, and they developing in their kid. They don't know where to take their kid to get the good information and the good work to make them better in youth sports. Sometimes they don't understand the way the coaches are thinking, the leaders of the organization are thinking. They don't understand when they're being when they are being asked to put their kids in a different situation that's not good for their development. I want to bring those discussions and those questions to a forum that I want to do every Sunday at 8 o'clock on Facebook. So you call me up and ask me the questions, man. At 718-717-94 what is 9618? That's 718-717-9618, or text the questions to me. And if you text it to me early enough, I will have answers for you. You come on and ask the question and we'll talk about it. I want to start this week discussion up, and I'm starting now because I'm going to start this Sunday about what they say, kids and parents leaving different organizations. Why are they leaving, and what reason, why they leaving, and this is a good or bad, or on a reason of leaving. Why other coaches think it's poaching. I feel that parents control where the kids go. So if a coach go talk to a parent and to convince them to leave one situation to another situation, we want to talk about it. Why you feel that you have to go? What is missing? What's missing from the organization you left to where the organization you're going? Because we have to stop this parents leaving organizations for stupid reasons. For stupid reasons, like winning. Like winning. So sometimes you got to understand that like football and basketball organizations is set up to teach not you, the kids the game. The kid have to be developed to play in a competitive format. So it's a big undercurrent in youth football that if organization lose, you're going to leave. I think that's a low number. They're not being honest on what number it is. They're not being honest on what type of kid. So we don't have that discussion on Sunday. Is what type of kid? I mean, I want to hear from parents that left organizations and why they left, why they feel like they left, and what the reason of leaving. I want to hear from parents is to understand that where they at, what they're not getting, it's not making them feel that they have to leave. So I want to talk about that and explain to them what an organization is supposed to do for you and your kid. And I want to talk about this Sunday. This Sunday coming up is what date is this Sunday? Is it I think it's the 15th. No, it's probably the 16th. This Sunday 16th. But I'll put it on Facebook. The discussion, and I want parents to hit me up with the questions. I get no questions, I'm not going to do the show. But if I get questions, I'm going to come on Sunday at 8 o'clock on Facebook and answer the question. It's called Uncle Milt's Q&A, and I'm going to advertise it more. And I'm going to tell you what the discussion this Sunday is, and just let us know. But that's a big thing. That's stopping a lot of programs running 100%. They're not running on 100% capacity, because they handcuff about losing parents and losing kids on some nonsense. So let's get discussion out there so parents can understand, what they may or may not be doing. So with that said, we're going to get off the air. Joe, you there? You're always there. All right. So, bear with us with this. Joe is in another place. I'm in another place. We working on getting back. We're in our comfortable setting with our professional equipment, and and that's coming very soon. But right now is right now, and this is what we're doing. Remember, the live stream is here. Call us up. Let us know about live stream. Hit us up on Facebook, NYC Youth Sports Podcast Show. Email us at NYC Youth Sports Podcast Show. Gmail. Hit us up on Instagram. hit us up. Wherever you can hit us up at, call up our hotline, support us. Go to our page, hit the red button. Please subscribe to the show. Support us, man. You got any donation? Hit our cash up with anything. We strolling. Yeah, we strolling and we got something strolling that, if you give us a $5 donation, we're gonna send you the best chocolate bar in the city. So you donate it. It says give us $5 and put it in there. Put the chocolate bar donation. We're gonna count the donation, give you a receipt, and we're gonna mail you the best chocolate bar in the country. We're gonna mail it to you. So this is how the show stay on the air. We have to do this, and we need your support and your views and everything. And we back next Wednesday at 8 o'clock sharp with another topic. Like I said, we are the NYC Youth Sports Podcast Show. We talk to real people who do real things in youth sports, and we'll be back. Good night.